So good afternoon. I'm Victoria Martinez. I'm the Assistant Chief with CDI over programs, and I'm glad everyone was able to attend today's training. We're very excited about the release of our online grant management system, otherwise known as GMS. The Commissioner made moving our grant application process to an online application system a priority. So as such, our IT and CDI team contracted, and we've been working with Grant Vantage this last year to get the system developed and ready for the 22-23 fiscal year grant applications. So we're very excited about that. Grant Vantage will be conducting today's training. Just wanted to let everybody know that today's training is for the county admin users. The admin users will be responsible for entering the information for all county staff who will be using GMS. We have a training scheduled next Wednesday on the 23rd from 10 to 11 a.m. on the navigation of GMS. So everyone who will be using GMS really needs to attend the training so that they'll learn how to navigate through the system. So again, the admin users are responsible for entering all the information for the county staff who will be using GMS. And it's important to have it done prior to 2/23. The sooner the better. That way it'll allow local assistants to send out an email to all those attending with the link for the training and the link for GMS. If you're not able to enter them until very late and LAU is unable to send an email, the admin users will be responsible for forwarding the links to those individuals who weren't able to get an email directly from LAU. So please, please, please have all staff entered in GMS prior to 2/23. I would recommend getting it done maybe Friday. Monday is a holiday, so we don't want to have anyone having any issues the day of the training. So like I said, keep in mind that 2/21 is a holiday. Another thing that I wanted to point out for the admin users just really quick is the admin users will be the ones receiving all contact information. I'm sorry, let me get my phone off. Any notifications within GMS will be sent to the admin users, and the admin users are responsible for forwarding that to the program manager. So I just want to kind of let everybody know that if you're receiving a message within GMS, then it won't be automatically sent. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So I think I covered pretty much everything. We'll have an opportunity for questions at the end, but I would like to introduce the CEO of Grant Vantage, Quanta Stamps, and I'm going to let her introduce her team. Thank you, Quanta.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks so much for taking the time to come to the training and to learn about how to set up your county profiles. Josie Behenna is going to, we can see the agenda here. So Josie Behenna is going to go through the agenda, and then she's going to actually transition to the system. We're going to take it slow. If any of you have any questions, please put it into the chat box. We will circle back to those at the end of the training. So so Josie, it's all yours, and thank you again, everyone.
Okay, I'm Josie Behenna with Grant Vantage, and today we're going over our county admin registration and training. We'll be covering how to log in and modifying the applicant profile by updating the organization information, updating the address, creating applicant delegate users, creating contacts, and uploading documents. CDI has provided all county admin users with login credentials via the GMS Do Not Reply email. Once you receive your login credentials, you will select Verify, which will take you to this page. This is the CDI Grants Management Portal homepage. Select Login in the top right corner. On the login page, enter the provided credentials and then select Login. You will be prompted to change your password when you first log in. These passwords will require 16 digits, 1 uppercase letter, 1 lowercase letter, a number, and a special character. Once you are logged in, you will see the applicant dashboard. On the left side menu, select My Applicant Profile. CDI has already entered your organization name, organization type, and the agency ID. County admins must complete the EIN field and, if you prefer, add your website URL and main phone number. Once you have completed these fields, select Save. We will now enter the county mailing address. Select the Address tab and complete all fields to enter the county mailing address. Then select Save at the bottom of the page. We will now add users. Select the Users tab. The primary applicant user, also known as the county admin, will create additional applicant user accounts to allow team members to log into the grants management portal and complete the applications. The primary applicant, which is the county admin, can create applicant delegate users, upload standard and confidential documents, answer standard and confidential questions, complete the budget template, submit the application, and open and view the applicant report. There are two types of applicant delegate users, standard and confidential. The county admin will be in charge of creating both types of applicant delegate users. To add an applicant delegate, select New and complete the required fields. Then select Save. The county admin will provide the new applicant delegate user with their login credentials. When a new applicant delegate user is created, the new user will be a standard applicant delegate. These users can upload standard documents, answer standard applicant questions, and complete the budget template. To make a confidential applicant delegate, select the Confidential Question Access checkbox next to the user's name. This change will autosave. To return a confidential applicant delegate to a standard user, unselect the Confidential Question Access checkbox. Confidential applicant delegates can upload standard and confidential documents, answer standard and confidential questions, complete the budget template, submit the application, and open and view the applicant report. We will now add contacts. Select the Contacts tab. All applicant user accounts will generate a contact record that can be used to answer questions during the application process. To create a contact record for someone who does not require a login credential and will not be logging into the CDI Grants Management Portal to work on applications, for example, the elected district attorney, select New and complete the required fields, then select Save. You'll now upload documents. Select the Documents tab. There are two types of documents that can be uploaded to the profile, standard and confidential documents. To upload a standard document, select Choose File, select the document, then select Save next to the file name. The document will appear in the grid. To upload a confidential document, select Choose File, select the document, then select the Confidential Document checkbox and select Save next to the document name. The document will appear in the grid with a lock icon. Confidential documents can be used to answer confidential questions that require a document upload and can be uploaded and viewed by the county admin or confidential applicant delegate, while standard documents can be used to answer both standard and confidential questions that require a document upload and can be uploaded and viewed by any applicant user. So today, the county admin registration and training covered how to log in, modifying the applicant profile by updating the organization information, updating the address, creating the applicant delegate users, creating contacts, and uploading documents. Okay.
Thank you, Josie. Diana, we have a couple of questions. And Josie, you might have to return to the system to the user profile when adding new users to answer a couple of these questions. So one of the questions is, when adding users, what password do we assign to each user? So if you could go into the user section and share your screen. So when you're, okay, go ahead and select new. So at the bottom, you can select a password and the user will be prompted to change their password when they log in. So you can assign a password such as welcome 123456789 as an example, and you need to have an uppercase, a lowercase, a number value. So you'll have to have a 16-digit password. The next question is, what are some of the examples of standard versus confidential documents? Diana, would you like to take that question?
Certainly. So a confidential user is someone who is going to be able to input and talk about investigation information. So in our old applications, we had what was called Attachment B, and Attachment B talked about active investigations that the counties were involved in. And anything regarding active investigations is considered confidential, and it is not subject to a PRA or a Public Records Act request. So in GMS, we now have a confidential section, and that confidential section deals with what was formerly in Attachment B. So if you have anyone who's going to be entering information with regards to those confidential investigations into investigation information, you're going to want to make them a confidential user. A standard user has access to everything else, but not that. So they won't be able to see your answers. They won't be able to read about the investigations and what's going on with those investigations. A common setup would be that your financial people who are just dealing with the budget would probably be a standard user because they don't need to have access to the investigation information. But someone who is on your investigative staff or your legal staff and is going to be inputting investigation information would be a confidential user. Another question talked about who are contacts. Anyone who is a user is basically a contact, but there are some individuals who maybe don't need access into the system. For example, your elected district attorney, we need the information for your elected, but if they're not going to be going into GMS, they're not going to be entering anything in there, they don't have to be a user. So for them, you would list them as a contact. And if they're just listed as a contact, that gives you the ability to put maybe a generic email for the DA's office as opposed to your elected's personal direct email. So then you could put them in as a contact. If you have someone who is not going to be entering information into the application for any reason, and you feel it's a contact that CDI should be aware of, then you would enter them as a contact. But most of the individuals you're going to be entering are the people who are going to be inputting information into the application, and they would be users. Anyone who on our old applications was previously on that contact list of those 3 individuals that you would have for the statistics, etc., they should all be in there as users. And once you've entered them as users and you're in the application itself, we give you a little bit more information. But in order for someone to log in and be able to input either a budget information or input an answer to a question, they have to be a user. Other questions?
The other question is, will the system prevent the admin user from assigning the same temporary password to all added users? We recommend that you vary the password accounts when you're issuing new user credentials, that you just vary the password. So when a new user is logged in and they're going to be prompted to change their password, you don't have everybody having the same password. You could use it, but we recommend that you vary it per person.